This video is brought to you by FANCO'S. 5 national champions are moving on from college wrestling, meaning those weight classes are totally up for grabs. I'm predicting the way too early 2023 national wrestling champions starting at 125 pounds. At that weight, Nick Soriano won in 2022, but who's going to be back? That's Spencer Lee. If he doesn't take a redshirt year, then I'm going with Lee to win his 4th title in Oklahoma. But if he doesn't return, I'm going to either Vito or Glory. These two have had some crazy back and forth matches that have just been a fun series to watch. At the recent EIWAs, Vito majored Glory, but then Glory returned the favor at Nationals in the semifinals when he majored Vito. Timing seems to be everything, so really this could go either way, but I'm going Vito Araujo as my pick. Who else could win? Let's stop stalling and start talking wrestling. What's going on, wrestling fans? My name's Josiah, and welcome to FANCO'S Wrestling, your source for college wrestling news and discussion. And what a drastic difference it is from last year to this year. 10 national champions returning to the field last year, only 5 returning to the field this year. And without these super seniors who are in their 6th and 7th years, it's going to make for a lot of changes in the upcoming seasons, which is why I'm going down the list giving my predictions of the 2023 national champions. Now, it may be way too early to predict the 2023 champions, but it's never too early to start caring for your skin. What do I mean? Well, the earlier that you start taking care of your skin after a workout, the less likely you are to get skin infections like ringworm, impetigo, dry skin, and acne. The first 4 hours after your workout are critical, which is why FANCO'S products are specifically designed to keep your skin clean. Their soap, body wipes, and other products are natural and promote healthier skin, which is why I use them. And if you want to know what that feels like, you can get 15% off your order at defensoap.com with coupon code FANCO. FANCO'S. Defend what you've built. And at 133 pounds, Roman Bravo Young definitely defended his weight class this year, again against Dayton Fix. Right after he won his 2nd national title, he put out a tweet saying, "Should I come back?" It's still unclear whether he will be back for another year of eligibility that he does have. If he does come back, I'm choosing RBY. But if he doesn't come back and pursues a career elsewhere, I'm saying Dayton Fix wins the 133-pound title. Fix has taken second for 3 consecutive finals, losing to Soriano, RBY, and then RBY again. He truly has been the undisputed number 2 at the weight class, and I think 2023 will finally be his year to get it done. It's going to be a shame not to see 2 Penn Staters winning back-to-back at 133 and 141 with Nick Lee graduating. Now, it's rumored that Bo Bartlett bumps down from 49 to 41, and he could be a threat, but he's not my pick right now. I'm between 2 guys. The first is Cole Matthews of Pitt, who had a really great regular season. He had only 2 losses going into the national championships and had a win, an upset over the number 3 Stefan Micic. At nationals, he had a big win over Rutgers' Sebastian Rivera, went on to the semifinals to just barely lose in overtime to Keyshawn Clark. One of the guys who made the semis on the other side of the bracket was Real Woods of Stanford, who up until that point in the tournament hadn't given up a point, and he gave Nick Lee quite the match. And although he hadn't given up a point up to that point, once you drop to the consies, anything can happen. He lost to Sebastian Rivera, then went up against Cole Matthews for the 5th and 6th place match. He lost that match, but I'm telling you, there's a very good chance this is going to be your national finals at 141 pounds next year. Who am I going with? I'm going with Real Woods. If he keeps that momentum going through the nationals, he may now give up a point next year. Bumping up to 149 pounds, I think you're going to see a very similar weight class to this year. Yanni Diakomahalis is just going to dominate. If his mind's on right, I really don't think anybody's going to touch him in 2023. You saw his interview after the semifinals when he beat Sasso, but said he needed to turn it up.
How do you change that? Have some nuts.
And that he did. He turned his notch up to number 10 and put it to Ridge Lovett in the finals. It's just something in his mind where he's able to turn on and go to another level. In 2023, Yanni can become a 4-time national champion, making him the 2nd ever 4-time national champ from Cornell. Now, at the halfway point at 157, Ryan Deacon was the national champ in 2022. He's not returning for 2023, meaning somebody else can win it. Who will it be? My pick right away is going to be David Carr. Yes, he had a shocking upset in the 2nd round, but I think that was the point. It was shocking. I mean, David Carr should have been a shoo-in to the finals, but even though he lost, you could have just seen him give up in the consies. But that's, I think, where you really saw the grit and heart of David Carr come out. He battled through the consies for 6 straight wins, taking 3rd place, showing that he is a top guy at the weight class. David Carr will learn, he'll move on, and he's going to win that title the next 2 years. Moving to one of my favorite weight classes, 165 pounds, Keegan O'Toole won in 2022, and he was my pick at the beginning of the season. Now, this may shock you. He's not my pick next year. Yes, O'Toole is a stud, and he has only one career loss. That's to Jake Wenzel. He has the potential to be a 4-time national champion based on the eligibility rule. But I'm making my switch to Shane Griffith. You saw this year, he had a pretty good season, but he just couldn't get past Evan Wick until he got to the big tournament. Finally, something clicked with him, and he was able to beat Wick in the semis, sending him back to the finals. When you wrestle guys time and time again, things will start to change. I wouldn't be shocked if Stanford seeked out Mizzou next year to battle them throughout the season so that Griffith and O'Toole can meet up sometime before the national finals. Griffith is a clutch national tournament contender. At the very least, I think you're going to see him compete in multiple national finals. Now, of course, let me not count out some of the other tough guys at 165 pounds. For example, Dean Hamady of Wisconsin. He had a great freshman year, and I think you're going to see he could jump levels next year, and at this point next year, we could be talking about him as national champ. The other guy I need to give credit to is Cam Amin. Although some may have seen his first time getting onto the stand as kind of a fluke with injury defaults, he proved himself in 2022 with big wins, including over Alex Marinelli, showing that he's right there competing for a title. And just like Alex Marinelli's gone at 165 pounds, you see a lot of guys leaving 174. Massa, Hidley, and Kemmerer are all gone. Mikey Labriola of Nebraska is back, but the national champion of 2022, that's Carter Sirachi, he put a pretty good beatdown on him at the national tournament. I really think that you could see Mackay and Sirachi in the finals for the next few years at 174. Virginia Tech's Mackay Lewis has 2 years of eligibility left, while Carter Sirachi has 3. Yes, 3 years of eligibility to compete. He could be a 5-timer. Now, the 2022 finals match went to a tiebreaker and was a great match. But I think the thing you see with Carter Sirachi, even more so than with other wrestlers, is that he wrestles a guy once and maybe he has a close match. The second time, he turns it up and beats him even worse. Now, I'm not counting Lewis out because he had a great year, but Sirachi is my pick at 174. And another Penn Stater is my pick at 184 pounds in Aaron Brooks. I thought there was one guy who could really challenge him in 2022, and that was Miles Amin. And he did challenge him. They had a great match in the dual meet. He finally beat him at Big Tens, and then in the national finals, they had a great match as well. But Aaron Brooks learned from his mistakes and turned it up. I don't think there's a more controlled or poised wrestler in nationals, and I see him going up and up and up in his trajectories until he becomes Penn State's first 4-time national champion. 197 is going to be a fun weight again next year. All back are Nina Bonacorsi, Stephen Buchanan, Rocky Elam, and of course the 2022 national champ Max Dean. Also returning, assuming that his recoveries go well from his car accident, AJ Ferrari. Ferrari moves and attacks unlike any other guy at 197 pounds that we saw in 2022, and I think you're going to see him bust through the field to take back his crown. That's why AJ's my pick to win the 2023 national title. Now, it's rumored that he could move up to heavyweight now that Gable's gone, but that's yet to be determined. But let's look at the heavyweights who are there. It is a shame that Gable's gone from the field, leaving his shoes out on the center mat. Also gone is Lehigh's Jordan Wood. But Schultz, Paris, Cassiope, and Kirkfleet are all returning, and those are all guys who could have been in the national finals in 2022. Of course, Arizona State's Schultz was the one to make the national finals, and he did give Gable a pretty good match. I wouldn't be shocked if he's back in the finals next year, but he's not my pick to win the title. My pick is the heavyweight who took Gable Steveson down in 2021 and gave Gable his best match at the national tournament in 2022. That's Greg Kirkfleet. Not only did Kirk do that, he found a way to beat Mason Paris in 2022. Now, the one flaw in his resume is he hasn't found a way to beat Iowa's Anthony Cassiope, although he keeps closing the gap. And you may be saying, Colton Schultz has beat Kirkfleet in the past as well. Yes, he did, but he was injured while that happened. And the one thing you never want to forget about is that Penn State knows how to make noise at the national championships. And that's why Penn State is also my pick to win the 2023 national title. Never doubt Cale, never doubt Penn State. Now I want to ask you, who are your way too early picks to win the 2023 National Wrestling Championships? Leave a comment below. And if this is your first time with FANCO Wrestling, I want to invite you to be a part of the wrestling news and discussion in D1 college wrestling. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay updated on a weekly basis.